Right now at 6, expanding free childcare in one of the country's most expensive cities.
It's huge. I don't even really know how to qualify it fully yet.
How San Francisco is trying to ease the financial burden for a growing number of families.
This can allow people to think, oh, I can stay and raise my kids here in San Francisco.
Plus, Oakland sending its own police officers to Santa Clara to help with Super Bowl security.
Safety in Oakland always comes first.
What that means for a police department already stretched thin at home. And the multi-million-dollar payout for a man shot by police after disarming a gunman during a South Bay brawl. And later, from the exam room to the boardroom.
It's really critical to have all parts of the ecosystem.
We'll introduce you to a former med student helping push companies to invest more in women's health care.
This is CBS News Bay Area with Juliette Goodrich.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us at 6. We begin in San Francisco, where the city is taking some new steps to make life more affordable for families, especially those with young children. So today, city leaders announced they're raising the income threshold for families to get free or discounted childcare. Our Katie Nielsen looks at how the changes could ease the burden on families and childcare providers.
Sarah O'Neill is the founder of Slippery Fish Preschool in the Lake Merced area, a co-op accessible school for kids from age 2 to 5. She says a lot of the families at the school struggle to be able to afford to raise children in San Francisco.
Families who traditionally they move here and they love it, but they don't feel like this is a place they can raise their children, and in part that's about the cost.
She says even relatively inexpensive daycare and preschool programs can be more than $2,500 a month per child. The city of San Francisco already offers childcare subsidies to families of 4 making $170,000 a year or less. But the new plan will increase the income threshold. So a family of 4 making $230,000 a year will get free childcare, and a family of 4 making $310,000 per year will qualify for a 50% subsidy.
$300,000 for a family of 4 doesn't go as far as people think in this city.
Ryan Hazelton is the chair of the San Francisco Child Care Planning and Advocacy Council. He says people should really think about the subsidies not in terms of family income, but instead as a community benefit, like public school.
Cities in our country should be providing free access to quality early childhood education to all children as a public good in the same way we give children in kindergarten and elementary schools free access through our public school system.
Mayor Lori says this really is about making city living more affordable for low and middle income families.
This can allow people to think, oh, I can stay and raise my kids here in San Francisco. And that's what this announcement is all about, and making sure that we give people the opportunity to stay and raise their children here.
There are more than 500 providers across the city, including Slippery Fish, that are qualified to accept the subsidies for children from birth all the way through 5 years old.
Okay, you're going in. Thank you.
Something Sarah says is a much needed financial bridge for families looking for help before sending kids to public schools.
It's huge. I don't even really know how to qualify it fully yet because it's very new and exciting, but just thinking about the ways in which families will feel a sense of relief is real.
For those who are eligible for a full childcare subsidy, the changes will take effect this month. And for those who are receiving a 50% subsidy, they'll start seeing their benefits sometime later this fall.
So it's not just early childhood. Mayor Lurie also announced an expansion of the dual enrollment partnership between SF Unified and City College of San Francisco. The new pilot program would allow high school juniors to earn an associate degree or industry certification at City College by the time they graduate, and it will come with a guaranteed transfer option to SF State. The city says at first it could help about 100 rising juniors. All right, let's get to a developing story out of the East Bay now. Evacuations have now been lifted after a gas leak impacted multiple schools in an Alameda neighborhood. A 2-inch gas line ruptured near the intersection of 5th Street and Pacific Avenue around 1:30. It prompted evacuations at Woodstock Child Development Center and Island High School and a shelter in place at a nearby middle school. So our chopper was overhead as students from the Child Development Center were being walked to another school for pickup. guided by chaperones and crossing guards. You can see the kids just lugging what looks like wagons full of school supplies and equipment. Several roads have been closed in the area. Authorities say residents could actually smell gas from blocks away. PG&E says a third party struck a gas line that stopped the flow of gas at 3:30. But the roads will remain closed for the time being as crews continue their work. Power is back on for businesses in Burlingame after about a week of outages in the area. The outages are tied to gasoline that was leaking in underground vaults in the Broadway district. Just yesterday, a new gas leak was discovered inside one of AT&T's underground vaults, extending road closures in the area. PG&E brought in generators while the power was out. All right, we are less than a month out from Super Bowl 60, and Oakland police are preparing for extra shifts on the big game day, both at the official watch party in Oakland and near the stadium in Santa Clara. It's certainly raising questions about how a long, undermanned department can cover all of that ground. Amanda Harry looks at how they plan to keep everyone safe for the Super Bowl.
While the biggest game of the NFL season will be happening in Santa Clara, it'll also be game time for law enforcement throughout the Bay.
Our ability to work together and provide an environment that's safe, that the future of the Bay Area is in good hand with law enforcement.
Oakland Police Officers Association President Wee Win is looking at Super Bowl 60 as an opportunity to demonstrate that the Bay Area can provide a safe environment on a world platform. The city of Oakland will be hosting the official East Bay Watch Party at the Henry J. Kaiser Center for the Arts, a building that holds memories for Wynn.
I actually took my police examination in that building.
He remembers going to concerts at the facility when he was a kid. For years, the building was shut down, but ticketed events came back in 2024. District 2 City Council member Charlene Wang is excited to see it used for this purpose.
It's about economic development, and it's about capturing the opportunity of the moment and making sure that we use this to support all of the small businesses that are struggling in District 2.
The building is located next to Laney College, not far from Lake Merritt and downtown Oakland. Tuesday, council discussed how to keep the event secure at their public safety meeting.
Security that would be available at the Henry J. Kaiser Center, as well as what we know is that these large sporting events always brings an increase in human trafficking. And so I've already been in touch with the police chief.
After some discussion, the council did decide to move forward with an agreement to send off-duty officers to Santa Clara to help with policing on Super Bowl Sunday. These officers will be volunteering to work on their day off.
If something then happens here in Oakland, they would be actually better positioned to respond to something to happen in Oakland. Because safety in Oakland always comes first, only if we have enough staffing.
Wynn anticipates they'll have enough volunteers, but if they don't, they'll tell Santa Clara they can't help. He also adds that the entire police staff is aware of the magnitude of this event and that they could be called in.
If there are events in our city arise to that level, we will do a full activation when it's deemed that the safety of our community need more resources.
Meantime, OPD has a new tool ahead of Super Bowl Sunday. Oakland is now the latest city in the Bay Area with speed cameras. 18 cameras are up and running to crack down on speeding drivers. All right, so this is a look at where all those cameras are placed. Take a look. You can see them downtown and also on the east side. The city says a majority of crashes happen along just 6% of city streets. For now, the speed cameras will just send out warnings. However, Oakland officials say in 60 days, those fines will start. You could have to pay up to $500 if a speed camera catches you going more than 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. An update now in a high-profile murder case in Oakland. A judge ordered the man accused of shooting and killing Laney College football coach John Beam to undergo 2 mental health exams. It comes after Cedric Irving Jr. said he targeted Beam because the coach had performed witchcraft on him. The public defender's office says it suggests that serious mental health issues could affect this case. The mental health examination would determine if Irving would need additional treatment at the state hospital before being prosecuted. It would not have any bearing on whether defense could seek an insanity defense or not. Police say the suspect in a Windsor shooting is now in custody after turning himself in. So the shooting happened Monday night around 5:30 at Estrella's Market on Old Redwood Highway. Police say 19-year-old Ricardo Bracamonte Manjaros shot a man inside the store, and another round ricocheted, hitting a store employee. Both victims were taken to the hospital. They are expected to survive. Officers say the suspect took off, but then surrendered last night at the Santa Rosa Police Department. He's now facing attempted murder charges. His brother and his father were both arrested on felony accessory charges, but they're out on bail. All right, let's turn to San Jose now, where the city council has approved an $8 million settlement nearly 4 years after a police officer shot and wounded an Oakland native who had disarmed a gunman in a brawl. So it all happened back in late March of 2022. Quan Green disarmed a gunman during a fight at a taqueria near San Jose State University. His attorneys say he was holding up the gun in the air as he tried to back out of the restaurant. That is when Officer Mark McNamara shot Green 4 times. It was then revealed McNamara sent racist text messages related to the case. He has since resigned. Green is now 24 and playing football at the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. His lawyer told the East Bay Times the settlement is an important step to Green reclaiming the life he worked hard to build. All right, still ahead, right here at 6, we're going to meet an aspiring physician turned venture capitalist pushing for more investments in healthcare fields that often get overlooked.
We all share values, we're all friends, and we're all in the same soapbox fighting the good fight for women's health.
Plus, a morning meltdown for East Bay commuters. What was behind the outages on BART's Yellow Line? And then later, one of the country's most scenic highways is finally back open along the California coast. Major healthcare conference is underway this week in San Francisco's Union Square. So thousands of people associated with the industry are meeting to discuss a range of topics. Our Suji Nam spoke with one participant who recently published a study which found the women's health industry is on the rise.
As Alice Sang walks into the J.P. Morgan Healthcare Conference in San Francisco.
Honestly, it feels like a family. We all share values, we're all friends, and we're all in the same soapbox fighting the good fight for women's health.
She sees opportunity.
Women's health is often thought of as a more nascent field than others.
Zhang had pursued her dreams of becoming a doctor, but after 1 year of residency, she changed course.
Look at new deals, talking to new companies, doing diligence.
She pivoted to venture capitalism, finding investment opportunities in women's health.
I know, I'm so excited.
Oriana Papin-Zogby, the CEO of AOA Diagnostics, discovered that investments and exits in women's health care have generated $100 billion in the past 25 years, with acquisitions and sales in clinical areas like maternal health, menopause, and oncology.
One of the biggest myths is that women's health companies, they're good for society, they're really important, but are they really going to deliver those returns? Is there really a return on investment? What we have proven is not only is there a return on investment, the return on investment is huge.
Now, she's looking toward the future of women's health care.
In the room, we have a range of individuals from startup to policy to investment to private equity to the acquirers and strategics.
And Zhang is a part of that dialogue. Entrepreneurs from all around the globe find more opportunities to strengthen women's health care.
Personal experience as a patient, my experience as a physician, my experience working with Fortune 500 companies on women's health issues. It's really critical to have all parts of the ecosystem.
Continuing to invest in women's health care, including more Bay Area companies for a healthier future.
The J.P. Morgan Healthcare Conference wraps up tomorrow. So meantime, California health officials are re-emphasizing their warning about a deadly outbreak of poisonous mushrooms. So they say 3 people have died and dozens more have gotten sick since November. Health officials say a single death cap mushroom may look safe, but it can kill.
And I just wanted to emphasize that there is no amount of Amanita phalloides that would be considered safe. A single bite of the mushroom could cause significant toxicity.
So the doctor also says California is likely experiencing its largest outbreak in state history. Officials want everyone to avoid foraging during the current season. Meantime, in Santa Clara, VTA light rail service is back open tonight after a FedEx truck crashed into a train right outside Levi Stadium. It happened this morning. One person was taken to the hospital, and tracks were briefly closed between Old Ironside Station and Champion Station. The Santa Clara County Sheriff's Department is still investigating what caused the collision. Repairs are underway for a BART substation in Lafayette. We spotted BART and CAL FIRE crews on the scene this afternoon. So transit officials say a fire there this morning caused an early morning outage and major delays on BART's yellow line. Service between Concord and Orinda was down for about 90 minutes. BART rolled out bus bridges between the two stations. In the meantime, moving people from the East Bay into San Francisco. Still no word on what caused the fire.
Another mild day across the Bay Area. Temperatures reached up into the 60s across the entire region, anywhere from the low 60s inland in the East Bay, where the fog slowed down the warm up, to almost 70 degrees again in Half Moon Bay, falling 1 degree short. We'll take a look at a 7-day forecast that doesn't have too many changes, but also look a little farther down the line coming up in First Alert Weather.
All right, so I'm loving this weather. However, come Saturday, it is kind of fun to sit on the couch and watch football when it is raining. I'm just saying. I mean, either way, I'm still going to be sitting on the couch.
That permission structure to waste a nice weekend day
just
in the middle of January.
Football.
Well, we can't create that, but I think just advancing to the divisional round is probably a good enough excuse. And it's nice of you to join me in auditioning for the new production of Mad Men.
I know. We do this ever so often, huh? We're like,
it happens,
my goodness.
And completely serendipitously. We're just like, oh, well, look.
We're like, we kind of coordinated today.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you about tomorrow.
When you work together for half dozen years. Let's take a look at what's happening out there today, and we'll see what the wardrobe brings for tomorrow. What you need to know as we head through the rest of this week, the dry weather is going to continue. Morning fog, especially the interior valleys of the East Bay and a little bit in the North Bay, giving way to plenty of sunshine. Chilly mornings and then mild to even warm afternoons. Again, it was almost 70 in Half Moon Bay this afternoon. The next rain chance doesn't arrive for at least the next 10 days, more likely by the last week of January. And at that point, we're looking at some really long-range data. Forget the 7-day forecast. There's no rain there. Let's just look ahead to next week, Sunday through Saturday. And there are some hints that maybe a shower chance is going to try to sneak down towards us about 10 days from now. But these chances, even by next Saturday night, we're talking something that is literally 10 days away, about a 1 in 3 chance. There's just only these outside chances, maybe in the long range data. Does look more favorable about 2 weeks from now, literally the last couple days of January, that we would see a more significant chance of rain, something to occupy our attention as we head through this latest dry stretch of weather, which means increasing air quality concerns. We had some orange dots mixed in with the yellow dots, indicating more unhealthy for sensitive groups air quality readings today. And so tomorrow is going to be a spare the air alert day. The worst air quality is going to be in the inland valleys of the North Bay, the East Bay, and the Santa Clara Valley. So specifically, it means no wood-burning fireplaces or stoves to be used even during these chilly overnight low temperatures that are going to dip down well into the 30s for inland communities by early tomorrow morning. Right now, still nice out there. Temperatures in the 50s across the board, anywhere from 52 degrees in Concord to 59 degrees still in San Jose, where you managed to climb up into the mid-60s this afternoon. After another chilly start tomorrow, we're going to bounce back once again. A little bit of fog in the Tri-Valley for Mavis in Santa Ramon. After that, plenty of sunshine with temperatures warming back up into the low 60s. So you get plenty of opportunities throughout the course of this dry weather pattern to get your pups out for some good exercise. We're not going to see, again, that next rain chance headed our way for a while. There's that fog creeping in from the Central Valley. They've been dealing with it for the past several days. It's not as stubborn, as persistent as what we saw back in the first half of December, but it's enough to put the brakes on the warm-up for the first couple hours of daylight. So after that chilly start tomorrow morning with temperatures as a mix of upper 30s and low 40s for most of the Bay Area, some mid-40s sprinkled in here and there, especially in some of the higher elevations, and then around the Bay and along the coast, staying a little bit farther into the 40s, and even the coldest spots only dipping a couple degrees down into the 30s. We are going to warm back up to anywhere from about 40 4 to 8 degrees above normal by tomorrow afternoon. So let's take a look at those forecast highs. And the cold spots in the North Bay, going to climb up into the low to mid 60s, even around or above 70 degrees from Santa Rosa to Healdsburg. Those will be some of the hot spots. The coolest locations will be where the fog hangs on a little bit longer, east of the Diablo Range. Near 60 in Fairfield, only upper 50s around Antioch and Brentwood. Temperatures around the Bay, low to mid 60s. Same thing at the coast, even some upper 60s there, and upper 60s to around 70 degrees for the Santa Clara Valley as well. Just 2 microclimate forecasts for you this time around. Those interior valleys of the East Bay, you'll be the cool spots, but a mix of upper 50s and mostly low 60s all the way through the weekend and into early next week as that morning fog gives way to afternoon sunshine. Well, for the rest of the Bay Area, temperatures are going to reach the mid to upper 60s on a day-by-day basis, with some of the warmest spots approaching 70 degrees until a little bit of cloud cover knocks our temperatures down a few degrees, but still above normal by next Tuesday and Wednesday as we start the abbreviated post-holiday work week. But the 3-day Martin Luther King weekend is looking pretty good, including if you're heading up to the Sierra to do a little bit of skiing.
Yeah, for fun, I look at the ski forecast, even though I'm not going to go skiing, but I'm like, oh, that'd be a great
Just live
day.
Vicariously.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Okay,
you
thank you. When we come back, we'll take you to the grand reopening of Highway 1 after years of weather-related repairs near Big Sur. Plus, here's a look at what's ahead on the CBS Evening News.
Good evening tonight from Chicago. Coming up, a live conversation with Mayor Brandon Johnson. I'll talk to him about his plan to solve the life expectancy gap, an issue that has plagued this city for decades. That's ahead on the CBS Evening News.
For 3 years, people in a picturesque coastal community have been dealing with landslides and road collapses, essentially splitting Highway 1 into 2. But that all changed this afternoon. A 90-mile stretch of the highway between Carmel and Cambria in Big Sur is now fully opened. It was an early surprise for many people, as the reopening of the roadway at Regent Slide wasn't supposed to happen for another couple of months. So the big news, well, it prompted some people to show up at 4:30 this morning. That's right, just to be the first to travel the reopened roadway. They even just dressed up for the occasion. Who are they?
We were hoping if we weren't the first car, we would be one of the first. It's a big celebration day, a big day for California and a big day for the local businesses.
As I said, who are they? Business owners in the area say the early reopening gives them even more time to prep for what they hope is a busy summer. The total budget for the repairs was $82 million. Caltrans says it came in under budget. Good job. All right, CBS Evening News is next on KPIX. We have local news always on our streaming service, CBS News Bay Area. We're back here in 30 minutes with CBS News Bay Area at 7. Just for you. See you then.